Needless Things Podcast. Welcome to the newest episode of the Needless Things Podcast. I am your host, Dave West, and yeah, I took a couple of weeks off. So, just to catch up, because I'm not quite ready, my plan had been, after my last day at work, which was, so my last day of being employed by that place was October the 18th. But really my last day of work was a couple of weeks before that. But my plan had been to give like this rundown of the last 20 years of my life with this job. And I'm just not ready to do it yet, which is part of the reason why I've put off putting an episode out for a couple of weeks here. But also just because October's been crazy busy. October is always very, very busy for us. Our anniversary is the 15th. My son's birthday is the 27th, which he just turned 18, by the way. And it's Halloween. There's just a lot going on in October. It's always been a very busy month for us. And with the career coming to a close, even more, maybe not necessarily physically busy like the things like the anniversary and the birthday that involve and Halloween that involve so much actual activity, but just mentally busy. A lot of thoughtfulness, a lot of what am I doing? What's next? Fortunately, what's next can take a little bit of time to get here, and that's fine. But like I said, I'm not ready for the career retrospective yet. So today, I am going to be sharing the Batman Forever panel from Dragon Con, which it occurs to me like either of the last 2 weeks that I didn't put up episodes, it would have been very easy to just pull. Well, we did a Halloween Con panel, but unfortunately, the audio's not great, and it's very short because the last 10 minutes of it were literally trick-or-treating, which nobody wants to sit and listen to that, but it was very important to me to make sure we got to the trick-or-treating portion of it, because of course, that was for the live audience, that was a lot of fun of the Halloween Con panel. So I don't know. I might play around with that one a little bit more, but I also kind of missed the window of putting it up because I'm not a huge fan of doing Halloween stuff after Halloween is over. Even though possibly I will be on the 8th. I'm still not quite clear on what's going on with that. We'll see what happens there. But other things that have been happening. I'm doing improv, or I'm taking improv. I am doing improv. I'm taking improv classes at Dad's Garage, which is very exciting. This is today. I'm recording this on Sunday the 2nd, November the 2nd. This will be my fourth class. Yes, this will be my fourth class. And what I have learned, I'm learning a lot about communicating, about working with people I don't know, about presenting, just being in a live, on your toes kind of environment, which granted, to an extent, I've been doing with the game show for over a decade now, and live stream, whatever else. I've been in many live situations. I hosted Monstrosity Championship Wrestling and had to be like, I've done plenty of live performing, but this is different. This is more like the philosophy of live performing, I guess would be a way to look at it. Like, I'm learning the mechanics of things, and I'm learning a lot. And I don't know that improv is necessarily, for me, I don't know that I really enjoy doing improv, but like I said, I'm learning a lot and engaging, and that's one of the things that is a huge goal of mine to do in this post 20-year career phase of my life, is to do things like this, to try new things, to learn as much as I can about different things, to just get experience in that way. And I'm having a great time. While I say improv might not be for me, that doesn't mean I'm not enjoying the class. I love the class. I think it's fantastic. A great group of people that I'm working with. The instructor is very, very experienced and knows what he's doing. He's a good trainer. So yeah, that's fantastic. And if I could just do things like that all the time, then that would be great. But of course, those things cost money and do not bring in money. So there's got to be that balance there, right? And I'm working on the bringing in money part of things. As I said, we're fine for a good while here, but I do need to eventually get to the point where I'm actively bringing in income again. And I'm having conversations with people about things that I'm actually very excited about, not just a job, which, look, I may end up with a job because if the right thing comes along, I'm not going to turn it down. But, it may happen. We'll see. But anyway, that's where I am. That's why the last couple of weeks were radio silent. But I'm recording again, and it's also, I've been focusing so much on the Needless Things YouTube channel, which please do go like, subscribe, and share. The only way any of this grows, the only way it becomes even remotely a possibility that this could be a significant portion of my career or whatever, is if you, the people, spread the word. That's it. That's it, because the algorithms don't do it. It's not, there's no organic growth. It's literally a matter of, if you like this, if you listen to this and you like it, share it on your socials, as many places as you can. And that's, a tenth of 1% of what needs to happen for things to grow. But it's very important, because that's the only sure way to get this in front of people who have not seen it and to get that growth. Because the social media is not designed for independent creators in that way. So please do like, subscribe, share. But the Needless Things channel, I've really been focusing over there on the trying to figure out what works best. And what I've started doing is posting shorts of the thing that I reviewed. Like, let's say I review Operation Monster Force, Dr. Caligari. That review goes up at 11 a.m. Full-length review. My reviews tend to be around 15 minutes-ish. And then at 6 p.m., I'll post a short that is a separate video. It's not culled from the original video. Like, I'm not clipping together 3 minutes of footage from the original review. This is an additional 3 minutes that I record after I'm done with the review. So it is sort of a recap, sort of an overview, but also what I'm noticing is, because when you're in the moment of doing a review, you're worried about getting things on camera. You just have concerns other than just reviewing the figure. It's impossible to do an unboxing style review, which is what I prefer to do, and hit all the points. But I've noticed that doing this little follow-up, this brief follow-up, 3 minutes or less, that I'm able to catch some things that I didn't always get before. So it's been an interesting experiment, and the shorts are doing very well. So that's a good thing. And that's been sort of my focus the last few weeks, is trying to fine-tune that and get that to where I guess it should be. So yeah, I'm working on making the sort of extracurricular stuff I've been doing since 2009 more what it needs to be, because I've got the focus and the bandwidth to do it. What else is going on? I'm rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and now Angel, which is fun. And of course, I wanted to start podcasts for both of them. Like, once I got about halfway through season 1 of Buffy, I was like, oh, I should really start a podcast for this. And then when I got to season 4 of Buffy, which is when Angel season 1 starts, I was like, oh, it'd be really interesting to do these. But I don't think that solo commentary podcasts are the best. And right now, I cannot take on another project where I have to rely on other people. I just can't do it. So yeah, I'm just enjoying Buffy and Angel without having to provide weekly content about them. So that's kind of a little catch up of what's going on, what's been happening. Batman Forever at Dragon Con was a blast. We had a great time on this panel. I was dressed up as Batman Forever, as the Val Kilmer Batman. I got a costume for that, and it's a bummer because like it's a it's obviously it's not like a movie replica style costume. It's a Ruby's deal. As a matter of fact, the mask isn't even a full head mask. It's just a mask. It's not a very good costume, and it's not one that I'm like happy with how it looks, because I'm unfortunately for me, it needs to look like the movie or the figure or the whatever kind of guy. However, it's pretty fun to wear, and there's something to be said for a costume that people look at and are like, yes, that's a costume. That's a store-bought costume. But you know what? That's fun. And that's what this one falls into, that category of like, no, it doesn't look like the movie, but you know what? That's pretty fun. Cape, some of the little details are like more fun, more than they really needed to be. But the problem is there is no way to go to the bathroom in that costume without completely removing it. So it's just not good for anything else, and there's nothing you could really do to alter it, because it doesn't have like a underpants situation. It's not like a regular Batman costume. I don't know. There would be no way that I can think of to like alter it so you could wear it for long periods of time. So that's unfortunate, because it's pretty neat and fun. But I think that's probably the last time I'll wear it. However, I did bring it home, and I still have it. And what in the world am I going to do with it? I don't know. So I'm sure I'll end up using the cape or the mask or whatever, for, different parts for different things. But great panel, lots of fun. We had a blast talking about Batman Forever, which I don't like as a movie, but it is fun to talk about, as you'll hear. I'm back in the saddle. New episode, Batman Forever, live from Dragon Con, courtesy of the Dragon Con American Sci-Fi Classics track. Enjoy.
There's so much other fun stuff going on, and any of these posters even, you guys can take those home, except for my minimal poster. Nobody touches it, except me. But, you can touch it, I suppose. But ladies and gentlemen...
For a fee, for a donation.
Respectfully.
Yeah, I'll stand there with the bucket, and you can put $1 in and then touch it. So look.
The poster.
The poster.
Let's clarify.
Thank you for clarifying. But what we would like all of you guys to do, if you're on the socials media, go to our Facebook page, American Sci-Fi Groups / American Sci-Fi Classics, and join us, because we do silly stuff like this all year long. And also, we have a YouTube page where, we'll do stuff like this there too. But right now, I'm going to turn it over to our August panel of learned individuals. And
Are they under here?
yeah.
Yeah, we killed them.
And you guys can introduce yourselves and welcome. Thank you guys.
My name is Dave West. I will be presenting, moderating, doing whatever with this panel. Batman Forever is my least favorite Batman movie, but oh my gosh, it's so much fun to talk about. We're going to get into it, don't worry about it. It's a wonderful movie. It's just, not on my top 20 list. But we love Batman, and we love everything that went into this movie, because it is a project fueled by passion. Passion that comes from where, we don't know, but we're going to figure it out over the course of this panel with your help. And with the help of our panelists, starting at the left side of the table.
Sir! Oh, right. Sorry. My name's Mike Gordon. Howdy.
Howdy!
I I'm a writer and editor, publisher, podcaster. I am a co-host of the Dragon Con Report and a co-host of Bat Chums, which is a weekly vidcast on YouTube and a podcast audio-wise, where we review the Batman 60 series one episode at a time, in order.
My name is Michael Bailey. I'm a podcaster, part-time, every once in a while, essayist. I have a Batman show called The Overlooked Dark Knight that I do with my friend Andy Leyland, where ostensibly we talk about Batman books that not anybody else talks about. I love you, Dave. I really do. And a couple months ago, we actually did 2 episodes on Batman Forever, which is a better Batman film than Batman Returns. There is my mic drop moment.
Ooh.
Hot take.
Next up.
Oh, hi.
Who are you? Why are you here?
Hello. Hello, everyone. I'm Nicole Cadaver. I am a podcaster, part of the whole Needless Things world, universe, I guess.
The extended universe.
Extended universe, yes, thank you. Sorry, a little tired from last night still. Yes, I know.
Tired.
Yes, I know it's 1 o'clock. I'm still very tired. Also, soon to be published author in something that's going to be coming out in November. And I am a fan of movies, and this is a movie. We're going to get there.
And finally, you, sir.
So I am Ryan. I'm so sorry, Batman.
The memories.
I'm so sorry. Let me grab my pearl necklace.
How dare you sully my fine Bubba Gump Shrimp Company decorative vase? How dare you?
All you needed there was like a book to fall open, too.
I feel like you're about to break your no-killing rule, like right now. I'm Ryan Cadaver. I am the singer of the band The Casket Creatures and the band Neon Warlords. And I am a huge Batman fan. I got Batman tattooed on my arm. I'm a DC Comics guy through and through. And I will say, when this movie came out, I was the prime age for this to be my favorite movie ever. Like, ever. So, my views have changed a little bit as I've rewatched, but I still have a lot of love for it.
All right, well, this...
Oh, and I actually am a character. I am the head of the Neon Gang that's in the movie. So I'm not just... I do dress like this a lot often. So it might be confusing.
So this is coming off because I think this mask is actually cutting my cheek, which is a problem for me. All right. That was fun.
To quote Dr. Doofenshmirtz, if I had a nickel for every time I was on a panel where Dave took off the mask, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it happens a lot.
That happens more than you would think.
Yeah, right? Okay, thank you everybody for tolerating that for a few minutes. Also, glasses don't... it may shock you to know this, but this mask does not come equipped with actual Batman technology with little lenses and everything in there.
That'd be pretty rad.
So yeah, it'd be great because I could have just kept it on and had a big hole in my cheek by the end of the panel. All right. So, I said Batman Forever is my least favorite Batman movie, and that's not necessarily true because I do think it's one of the most eminently watchable Batman movies. And we're going to get into everything, but before we get to Batman Forever, we do have to sort of establish a foundation that this is ostensibly the 3rd Batman film in a series-ish. I feel like one of the Michaels is probably a little more qualified to lay that foundation. Just give us a quick synopsis of how we got to the point of Batman Forever being a thing and going in a completely different direction from the prior 2 movies.
So, if you don't mind, the too long didn't read version of it is that a guy named Michael Uzlan had been trying from 1979 to 1989 to get a Batman film made. He wanted a dark and serious Batman film. And they finally were able to do that with the movie we got in 1989, directed by Tim Burton. And then that movie was so successful that they're like, there is absolutely no way we can do a Batman film without Tim Burton being involved. So they did the thing that is really good in any creative endeavor, is telling somebody that really doesn't like the subject that they're talking about that they can do anything they want. And so what you got is Batman Returns, which is a lousy Batman film, but a very good Tim Burton movie, I would argue. And that film was very successful, and it also horrified people because it had a BDSM goth aesthetic to it that Warner Brothers was not ready for their summer popcorn.
Not horrified.
Yeah.
By the way.
Not horrifying. I love it.
It frightened the children.
It scared the children. The thing that you always hear in documentaries is they had to pull Happy Meals from McDonald's. And I'm like, but they didn't pull everything. I worked at McDonald's that summer. We had Batman cups. They were great. But the studio, because it's a studio, is just like, we got to rethink this. So they traded in a BDSM goth aesthetic for a BDSM rave aesthetic from the mid-90s.
Yep.
Well,
With a director named Joel Schumacher.
and what's funny about that is, so Batman Returns 91, 92. So I was a little bit older, so I would have been 16.
Yeah.
And then 95, 3 years later, I'm 19. And to me, it seemed like Batman Forever to me seems far more overtly sexual
It is.
Yeah.
than Batman
100%
Returns was.
is.
Intensely sexual.
Right.
But here's the thing.
A lot of bulges.
The problem with the Batman Forever, the Batman Returns one, is that people are more gross. The general people, the straights, the normal human beings that are not in this room right now, they are more horrified by the idea of a woman in leather licking herself.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely okay to have Nicole Kidman, as a professional psychiatrist, drop her robe and is in a negligee talking to Batman, going, you bring the scarred psyche, I'll bring all of this.
Which, by the way, that's all she wears in the whole movie.
Yeah.
If you watch, she's just wearing like black Victoria's Secret's night things. Like, she doesn't have an actual like daytime grown-up person wardrobe.
But
well, I guess it's grown-up person. Let me
Yes, it's not child.
work on that. Yeah.
But she doesn't have like a suit.
Walk around. No,
Anything,
nothing
yeah.
professional
No.
whatsoever.
I would also argue that I understand what you're saying about Catwoman, but I think a lot of the aversion was to Penguin.
Oh yeah.
Because like
he had black
was
stuff
actually
coming out of his
terrifying
mouth.
and biting the nose off of the fish and all that, which I
So
still think is awesome. But
So Joel
But
Schumacher.
also, it didn't do well financially either.
yeah,
It
It didn't do as well as
It didn't do as well as they
they
did.
wanted.
It made money in the sense of there's a phenomenon in popular music where an album that comes out of nowhere that becomes successful over time, the follow-up album that everybody hates does better financially than that album because everyone's coming in
Right.
for the success. Everyone was coming in so financially Batman Returns did well because everyone loved Batman 89, but the studio wanted to rethink everything because it's a studio.
Yeah.
Well, and the merchandise didn't do well.
Yeah, the merchandise.
The Batman Returns merchandise just did not do well. And I think that was the big studio concern as well.
So
because they
Schumacher
wanted to
coming
sell
in,
toys.
it by 1995, this is Schumacher's resume, which is wild to compare these movies against what we're talking about today. 1981, The Incredible Shrinking Woman. 1983, DC Cab, which I think has been talked about here on the track. Is that right? Have we done a DC Cab panel? Okay.
If not, it's coming back around again. We'll do it.
Absolutely. 85, St. Elmo's Fire. 87, Lost Boys. 89, Cousins. 1990, Flatliners. 91, Dying Young. 93, Falling Down. 94, The Client. Like, pretty serious fare and pretty all high-quality movies that were met with a lot of success. So you understand why the studio wanted Schumacher on this, why his credentials seemed appealing to them.
No, not really, because it's like we want to make a lighter, happier Batman that doesn't frighten people. So let's hire this guy who specializes in dark adult themed.
Yeah. Let's get the guy from Falling Down.
Yeah.
Well, if you
That's
go,
a
if you go
feel-good
back
movie.
to,
Let's get the guy who did Flatliner.
but you
Yeah.
see early in his career, he did lighter fare that had a sort of a cheeky tone to it.
Yeah, and Cousins is I don't know, because I had HBO as a kid, Cousins was on like every 5 minutes for a while
I
there.
have no recollection
And
of that.
I don't
movie.
either.
It's Ted Danson and Isabella Rossellini as people that are cousins by marriage, and the entire film is why they should be together. And
I suspected
yeah, so
that.
And also,
That's
Joel,
a very
like,
80s. That could only have existed in the 80s. Like,
My understanding
Yeah.
is that Joel took the job because he was interested in making a dark movie about
yeah, he wanted to do Batman Year One. That was his thing, and the studio's like, how about you not do that? And he's like, okay.
Well, and as far as just sort of the legacy of Batman in media at this point, the Batman television show, the 1966 stuff that you can hear about on the Bat Chums podcast, is wonderful, but over the top silly, and I think the franchise has been trying to get out from under that image forever.
Well, Michael Uzlan wanted to get out.
Yeah, because Michael Uzlan was the 14-year-old.
Well, he had the rights,
Yeah.
so
So he must have
what
been
he wanted,
so
they wanted.
happy after watching Batman Forever.
Well, and yeah, right. But it's funny because Batman 1989, you know, we tend to think of it as a darker, more serious Batman. It's actually very, very silly.
Yes.
It's only darker and more serious in comparison to 66.
This is the thing that I keep saying. When I watched it again for like the first time in a long time back in 2015, I was like, this movie is as silly to us now as Batman 66 was to us in 1989. But as a 13-year-old in 1989, that was the most dark and serious movie I'd ever seen.
And it's still, look, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Nothing will ever change that. I'm literally unable to look at Batman objectively.
Yeah.
Because of the phenomena. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Batman Forever, which I can... we'll be here forever, by the way. That's in the title of the panel. We're just staying
Doors are
now.
locked. You're not getting out.
This is where you live now. So Joel Schumacher gets brought in. And the studio just wants that change of tone. But they get a lot of other changes as well, including Michael Keaton, who did not return for the role of Batman, which, in my opinion, is the biggest problem this movie has.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think that was a big swing and a miss with Val Kilmer. I like Val Kilmer.
Bless his heart.
He's fantastic in so many things, but
He's
this
not
is
this
not
one.
one of them.
Not
How do you
this
guys feel
movie.
about Kilmer's role in this?
So I think like this film is made up of a cast that was, you like these people in other films, so we're going to
Yeah.
put them in this one.
Yeah.
And Kilmer, the thing with Val Kilmer is that he is an exceptionally good actor that has pulled in many wildly varied performances throughout his career. He wasn't, all the stuff that he was given to work with was cut out of the movie ultimately. The subplot of, Bruce Wayne's, it's called Batman Forever because he's deciding if he should be Batman through the course of the film.
Well, he should not.
Yeah,
But
the
I
answer is no.
think the problem is that because he's Val Kilmer, he plays Batman as very wooden, and he plays Bruce Wayne like, for a man who oozes charm, his Bruce Wayne is largely charmless.
Yeah.
I would argue there's no difference between Batman and Bruce Wayne in this movie. Like, we just watched it again, and like they talk, act, everything's the exact same. Even when he's dressed like Batman, and he's like, "I've read your work," and whatever. I'm like, this is like some Bruce Wayne
It's very
stuff.
naive.
Like, this is not bad. Yeah, he's like, it's good work, but it's very naive. And I'm just like, that is not something Batman would say.
Yeah, he
He's
has
just-
no
to me.
concept that,
They're two different characters.
Batman is him, and then he's always playing that character of Bruce Wayne. But Val Kilmer doesn't get that at all.
No.
And like you said, very wooden. Like, his entire performance is just this. For the whole movie, regardless of what he just... I'm sorry, like I said, I hate to speak ill of Val Kilmer, but he's terrible.
Look, not everybody
He's the worst part of this
nails
movie.
it all the time.
Yes.
Well, so many scenes on this rewatch, because we all watched it again prior to this panel.
Yes.
And, there's a difference in watching something just for fun, putting it on in the background or whatever, and sitting down and watching it and really trying to sort of take in, develop deeper opinions and thoughts about it. And so many of Val Kilmer's scenes, in my head, I was just like, gosh, imagine if this was Michael Keaton. Imagine if Michael Keaton was this Bruce Wayne interacting with Jim Carrey
the scene between Edward Nygma and Bruce Wayne, where he's got the glasses. And, imagine how different that chemistry would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does.
Yeah,
Again, we love Val Kilmer and so many other things he did, but he just, this one, and look, we've got to put some of the blame on the director.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly not coaxing the performance that he should have out of Val Kilmer.
On set.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Joel Schumacher wasn't really communicating with anybody. According to the director of photography.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of communication on this project at all.
Yeah, there's a docu-series called Icons on Earth, and they've done a bunch of different subjects. They did Batman, and the thing that I came away from for all 4 of the Batman films from 89 to 97 is that it's a freaking miracle any of them got made and came out coherently, or as coherently as Batman and Robin could be.
Well, one of the quotes from that, because Michael directed me to that, because there's a Bond one that I watched a little of, and it was, if you've seen the special features on the Blu-rays, there's not much that you haven't seen. But then the Batman one I didn't know about. And watching that, the director of photography says, well, Joel would basically show up on set and say, hey, what are we shooting today? That's not really a director at their best. You're right.
That's a spectator.
Yeah.
But there was some great casting in this movie.
There was some fantastic casting in this movie. 2 of the returning cast members were Pat Hingle as Commissioner Gordon and Michael Goff
I
as
can
Alfred.
never do it.
He's my favorite Alfred.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're both utilized more in this movie than they are in any of the other 4. Any of the 3.
Whenever I watch Batman Returns, whenever Pat Hingle comes on, I end the scene with "Thank you for giving me another line in this film." whereas here he's got ostensibly more to do. I think the secret sauce of any of these films is Michael Gough as Alfred. No matter what movie he's in, he is delivering a fantastic performance. It's just sad that he had more chemistry with Chris O'Donnell in their scenes together than he did with Val Kilmer, who he had worked with before.
Well, and you bring up Chris O'Donnell. I mean, in my opinion, he's fantastic in this movie. And really turns in the most engaging character, and the one that, to me, I wanted to follow. I mean, because the villains. They're over the top. They're fun. We'll talk about them in a minute. But as far as protagonists, like Chris O'Donnell was the guy where I was like, I like this guy. He's entertaining. I enjoy seeing what's going on with him, his growth. Now, it is weird that, 37-year-old Bruce Wayne adopts 32-year-old Dick Grayson. That's a little strange.
Good of you to take him in.
Right.
I'm like, he's a grown man. Am I crazy?
I'm like, is he going to child services? Is there an adult services?
Well,
why can't, I need adult services.
His family presumably has been with this circus a very long time. There's not just something else he can do with the circus?
Yeah, he doesn't have a friend.
No.
Never made a friend.
We never liked that Grayson kid.
Well,
guys, my parents and my brother are dead. I'd like to continue with the... Ooh, sorry, pal. We just don't have any... Yeah.
The thing is that they obviously cast him because of Scent of a Woman and... Circle of Friends, I think, was the other film he did around the same year.
Poets, right?
No, he was not. He wasn't in Dead Poets. That was Ethan Hawke.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He was in School Ties.
They wanted Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, but he was in School Ties with another Batman, which is fascinating because Ben Affleck's in that film. But I think that what they were going for mainly is that Robin's a squidgy character because, are you gonna cast an 8-year-old and have him dodging gunfire in real life?
Warner Brothers is not.
Yeah. Are you gonna find somebody like Burt Ward who was in his 20s but looked 16?
And I think that's my complaint. So he was actually, I think, 25 when they filmed the movie. And a lot of 25-year-olds played teenagers very successfully. Chris O'Donnell is not one of them. He's a 25-year-old that looks 37.
Yeah, he's a blonde man.
Because I looked it up and I was actually surprised that he was only 25. I was like, that is a grown person. Are we supposed to believe, I guess, that he's like 16, 17?
Yeah.
I mean, he's driving a motorcycle,
I think that they do work in the fact that he's going to work at the garage and he's good at tinkering around with cars. And that part makes sense because it's almost like Bruce Wayne's giving him a job. Which I think that part makes sense.
But he says he was filling out paperwork at
all day.
Basically, he's talking about like going like through foster care.
Right,
Like
right.
he is indicating that he is not 18 years old.
I adopted Oz last night.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And apparently the Gotham PD can't get him like a sandwich or something. Because
Yeah, like he's so hungry.
he hasn't had anything to eat.
Yeah.
What, did you have no food? Like,
Yeah,
did
he's
you guys not have
a grown
break
man.
room?
It also couldn't get himself a sandwich.
Yeah.
Like, you have a motorcycle. You could have just driven
He could have
to
gotten drive-through.
a drive-through.
That's the other funny thing about Bruce Wayne taking custody or whatever. Like, when they get the arrival scene, you know, he's in his car, and then Dick Grayson's just back there on his motorcycle, like, independently, like, I guess I'll follow this guy. Like, there's no sense of, like, oh, he's taking care of him.
Yeah.
It's one of the weirder parts of the movie, which is crazy because there's
Like,
a lot of weird parts.
Let's take a moment, though, to appreciate, no matter what you think of Zack Snyder, let's all just take a moment to appreciate the fact that at no point did he have an 8-year-old Robin murdered in one of his movies. Because it would be fun.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So,
I'm
give it up
sure
for
he
Zack
had it in-
Snyder's restraint.
I'm sure Chris Terrio had it in the scene. And
Release the dead Robin cut.
So obviously our other big cast members, let's start with Tommy Lee Jones, who in 1995, I don't think I knew who Tommy Lee Jones
Really?
was.
Okay.
Well, okay, what had he been in previously?
The Fugitive was 93.
I don't think I saw The Fugitive.
He had just finished The Client
He
with Schumacher.
Yeah.
He was
I'm not watching like grown-up drama stuff.
Okay, see, that's the
at
thing
that
is
age.
that my house I grew up in was fascinated with watching movies. So he was in a mini series called Lonesome Dove, where he starred opposite Robert Duvall. He was in Under Siege, which is, and this is damning with faint praise, one of the better Seagal.
Now, okay, so I had seen Under Siege, but he just
Yeah, well, he's one of those people.
register as
I
a.
like it.
But because we're the same age, so at 19, if you hadn't been watching a lot of adult dramas, you wouldn't know who Tommy Lee Jones is. So that
Or
makes
wouldn't have an
perfect sense.
awareness.
Or would have awareness of him. It's like me.
Yeah,
and
at
any
that age, if you had not been in like a horror or a comedy, I don't.
I feel like we're all the same age as well. Like,
I'm the old man on the panel.
I knew who
I'm sorry,
Tommy Lee
the
Jones
awesome
was,
man on the panel.
and I also was like, why is he in this movie? Like, it seemed so strange to me to take Tommy Lee Jones because, yeah, like Lonesome Dove, and like he was in all these like serious, kind of like more highbrow type of roles,
Yeah.
and then I'm like,
Certainly not cackling from under half a face of purple paint.
it was so strange to me, and it still is to this day. I'm like,
But it's not that different than getting Nicholson as Joker. Like, and I think that's what they're trying to do.
That's
Like,
exactly what they're
get,
trying
like,
to do,
this
yeah.
Serious
But it's-
actor, make him, you know.
Well, but even in
meanwhile,
'89
you have,
though.
But meanwhile, you have Billy D. Williams over here going,
oh yeah,
Right.
yeah,
what the hell,
That's
guys?
yeah.
yeah,
What the
that's
hell?
horrible.
I've
I'm
been
so
been
mad
doing
that we're
this.
cheated
Like,
out
that's
of
why I
that.
took this
And I'll
seat.
never.
And he would've been.
Honestly, I'll never get over that. Although it is nice that in the comics.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the Batman '89
Yeah.
comic, he finally
Yes.
gets to, and in the Batman Lego movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
What
And-
was the point? I missed the first part.
Oh, so Billy D. Williams had been playing Harvey Dent, and the only reason he took that, well, one of the main reasons he took that role was so he could eventually be Two-Face.
Yeah.
And then when they finally do the Two-Face movie,
They just
Joel
completely
Schumacher's like,
recast him.
"Nah, I'm done with you. Like, I'm not using
He got
you."
paid $1 million
And then-
to walk away.
Well, yeah, they fulfilled his contract.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
he didn't
He
get
got
any of the
paid.
merchandising money or anything
No,
like
but
that.
I mean, that's
So he didn't get
awesome,
the
but
legacy.
I
But they
still-
paid him
Yeah, but it
off.
would still be
Thank you.
disappointing if you want to
Yeah.
play that
But-
character
yeah.
and have it
I
given
would
to
still be
somebody
bummed.
else. You know, and just really quick on Tommy Lee Jones. Another thing, like the way Kilmer plays, you know, Batman versus Bruce Wayne. Like Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face only as Two-Face.
There's
Yeah.
almost
Right.
no.
There's
No,
one
no.
moment in the end of the movie
Yep.
where you kind of see Harvey Dent for a
Yeah.
second,
Yeah.
but that entire he didn't get the duality of that
No,
role.
he did, but here's how he did it. When he's being more evil, he goes, "What do you think of that?"
Look at
Oh
my
my
face.
gosh, that drove me crazy
Yes.
how he would point the
Yeah,
scarred side
at
at
the
the
camera.
camera
Yeah.
when
It's
he's
so-
being evil.
Like,
So ridiculous.
if you were going to do a more serious version, like there's a 1990 annual, Batman number 14 from 1990, where it goes into the origin of Two-Face, like really dives into it.
It's the one with the really close shot at.
Yeah, it's the Neil Adams cover.
Yes.
It's effing amazing. If you were going to do that, Tommy Lee Jones is great for that because he's a very nuanced actor, and you can see him doing a character that is descending into madness.
Yeah.
But when you're like, Richard Mull's voice is a lot better at this character than Tommy Lee Jones, that's a statement that feels kind of weird, but the problem is that he wasn't playing Two-Face. He was playing Joker 2.0.
Yes, and that's the thing, is they were trying to get him to be everybody was trying to be the Joker in this movie.
Yeah, literally all villains are just like, we're the Joker now.
Is that Tommy Lee is not a guy, he's pretty much a no-nonsense guy behind the scenes as a person, and as an actor, like he's about the work. So he's not a guy that you want sitting in a makeup chair for 4 hours every morning and then getting on set and being uncomfortable, because he's not going to make everybody's life like cheery. Like he's just going to be grumpy all the time.
Well, and dealing with the hottest Hollywood prospect out of his mind, Jim Carrey, which, by the way, my favorite Hollywood quote of all time is what Tommy Lee Jones reportedly said to Jim Carrey on the set: "I cannot sanction your buffoonery." That is classic, and I've said that to Oz so many times over the years.
Carrey's one of those things that he is the one part of this film outside of Chris O'Donnell that makes perfect sense.
Yes,
Like when you look at the film and you look at who Jim Carrey is as an actor, that role is like he didn't do as much ad-libbing as you might think. Like if you read the novelization or look at one of the scripts, like he adds little things.
The novelization of this movie,
written by Peter David, and it's really good.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'm not doing it.
It is taken from an earlier draft. Peter David adds additional chapters at the beginning to set up the characters, and he actually plays with the concept that the movie tells you it's playing with, but actually doesn't. So
Gotcha.
I would recommend it wholeheartedly.
I also think, coming from the Batman 60s world where I'm living these days with the podcast and everything, I do know that Jim was a big fan of Frank Gorshin. And so, there are elements in his performance that I can see that he is honoring him in some ways, but he does take it to, he's playing Jim Carrey. At the time he was in The Mask, he was in Dumb and Dumber, and he was in Ace Ventura, and that was his thing. Like that's what he did, and that's what everybody expected to him to do in this movie, and he
did it.
He did it.
Well, and he was I think to people our age at the time, he was the get.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the movie.
No,
he was the marquee,
in my opinion,
the reason to go see it, the one that we quoted for weeks and months after we saw the movie, because his performance is just energetic and dynamic and everything he does, and also it's not a bad portrayal of Riddler.
No,
he does
really
riddles,
isn't.
and granted, the end result of all the riddles is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But speaking of riddles, we're about at the halfway point. Would anybody in this room like to perhaps deal with some riddles and get a little bit of swag up here? Anybody want to answer a riddle? Take a shot. All right, I saw in the back first. We have our Riddler here.
Give me this.
Riddle me
Like
this.
a riddler. Riddler.
Ready?
The guesser.
Okay, I'll do my best.
What is more useful when it is broken?
Silence?
Ooh, that's a better answer.
It's not
than
bad.
that.
Not a bad answer.
You know what? We'll take that.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
Not what is written down, but that's okay.
The answer,
You made it better.
which that shirt is absolutely awesome.
Oh, yes,
by the way.
thank you. I got
great.
it at a concert.
An egg.
An egg.
Yeah.
Have you, just really quick, have you guys ever heard Frank Gorshin's Riddler song?
Yes.
Yes.
I've heard Method Man's.
No. Frank. Everybody from the Batman series did a song about that. There's a Burgess Meredith Penguin song.
Oh, I need this album.
There's an Adam West song called Miranda where he's playing Batman, singing a
Whoa.
song. I will hook you up.
Yeah, please
after.
do. Please do.
But he did a song, and it's like this jazzy, like 60s, like, you know,
Oh my gosh.
where they're doing riddles. The worst was, what is easier to spell, fiddly D or fiddly dumb? Fiddly D because it has more E's.
That sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, ours are no better than that, so strap in. Who else? In front row here. You want to take one?
Okay. Riddle me this. John's father has 3 sons. Snap, Crackle, and who?
John Jr.
John.
John.
John's father has 3 sons. Very good job, sir. Very
All right.
good job.
So, I have a serious beef with the Batman Forever trading cards. Because there was 2 sets.
Well, they don't like you either.
No, it's a long thing. It's
Throw
a thing
one out.
between our families. It's like a blood feud. So, like everything in the 90s, it had a trading card set.
Sure.
But it had 2. It had one that was like the more standard cards that you have, and then it had the metal cards.
Oh, yeah.
So, back then, you would buy an entire box thinking, I'm going to get an entire set out of this.
Right.
Mathematically, it was impossible for the metal cards to get an entire set. And when I bought a box off of eBay a couple years ago, there was a lot of swearing in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't want to track down the rest of this.
All right. Got another riddle attempt here. We'll do one more.
Riddle me up.
All right. The more you take of these, the more you leave behind.
Should have stood like this.
It's very confident. I thought
That's all Val
Yeah.
Kilmer did in the movie.
that's a good point. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you're doing a better job than Val Kilmer right now.
I'm stumped. You gotta pass this.
That's fair.
Eh,
That's fair.
Anybody got a guess?
Well, wait, who's?
Oh.
Yep.
Yes. Come on up. Although whoever said laxatives, please come up also.
And yes, if we didn't hear, the answer was footsteps.
Laxative.
Or laxative.
That's solid.
The more you leave.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I guess it's probably not solid.
It's not solid.
but-
No, it's very liquid.
Congratulations, well done. And I'll tell you this: looking these riddles up, I look as I was because it came off of like Better Homes and Gardens riddles for families or whatever. Because I just wanted simple stuff. But as I'm going through them, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I would be able to answer any of these. Like if I wasn't looking at the answers right now.
Don't eat the gum if there's gum in there.
Oh gosh, no! Eat the gum, but let us record it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So we've talked a little bit about the casting. When started down at the end here, Mike, when you heard you were going to be on this panel, which was not your choice, you were forced onto it. What was your first thought? What was the first thing you wanted to talk about regarding this movie?
Well, first of all, I guess you guys know, Dave asked me to be on the panel specifically because he knows I don't like the Tim Burton.
I figured this one must be his bag.
Boy, I wish that were true. But I love talking Batman, and I love, and I hadn't seen the movie in 30 years. I mean, I saw it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it in the theater. I was kind of excited, but I was weary going in because I didn't like the Burton ones, but I didn't know. I mean, it was new director and everything like that, new actor, almost everything was new. It was almost a reboot, but it wasn't. But I knew things were not going to be okay when, before I saw the movie, a friend of mine, I came home from work and a friend of mine had left a message on my machine, and all it said was, my good friend Scott, all it said was, riddle me this, riddle me that. Why is Batman Forever such a piece of crap? And I was like, ooh, yeah, I did the same thing. And yeah, after I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, this is not great. So I haven't watched it, and now that I'm in the world of the 60s show, I was like, okay, well maybe there's a camp factor that's going to be at play here that I didn't appreciate back then and whatever. So I watched Batman Forever, and there's camp and then there's camp. And, Schumacher's camp is not 60s camp. It's a very, very different kind of camp sensibility. And I must say that it was, it was a hard watch.
There's moments that feel like the 60s show to me.
I mean,
like there's some of the costuming and some of the
Well, and certainly a lot of the photography. They do a lot of the Dutch angles and stuff like
They do
that.
a lot
Like
of-
they
yes,
definitely.
they do that, yes.
There's a lot of the elements.
But to your point,
gang fight scene.
unfortunately, Batman and Robin, Bruce and Dick don't have any chemistry, so that's a hard thing to get around. And and they try to throw a '60s thing in there when Robin
Holy
says
rusted
like
metal.
holy rusted
Yeah.
metal, Batman, and it's like, no, I mean it's got a rusted
Back full of
metal
holes.
thing that has holes, and I'm like, that's just sad.
When I was
So beyond cringe-worthy. Because I like cringe, but
When I
man.
was a kid and watching this movie, I would quote that at recess. Like, I thought that was the height of comedy because I got that they were referencing the 60s show, and I thought I was
7
smart.
years old.
I was very young. And I was like, that's the funniest thing that's ever happened. So I'd be like, holy rusted metal, Batman. Haha. Hey, y'all think that's funny? Nobody did.
Well, I do appreciate the fact that
Thank you.
for younger folks that it worked. I mean, and obviously it did work because the movie was box office wise it was way more successful than Return.
Yeah.
And merchandise wise it was way more. But to me, like a lot of the decisions. Like, I don't know. How do you guys feel about the Batmobile in this one?
I love it. I love the Batmobile, the Batboat, and the Batwing. I love their designs. I like the across the board.
just looks
They have an
wobbly whenever
aesthetic.
it's like-
It's hilarious
Oh,
when
yeah.
I'm driving because that giant
No, it
fin
looks like
is
it's
just
made of cardboard, but the design is great.
But it looks awesome.
Yeah.
I like. They've in a way made parts of Gotham City look like San Francisco with all the neon and
I love
really
it.
it has its own style, and I think that's the key to this. If you can, Kilmer aside, I think if you can sit back and just accept, like, okay, this is Schumacher's vision of this, and just go along for the ride, it's very watchable, very
Visually,
entertaining.
this movie is fantastic.
Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey have tremendous chemistry together, even though apparently Tommy
I
Lee
think it's
Jones
just hating each other.
hated Jim Carrey.
I think they're just trying to outact each other.
Yeah.
And you when we were talking about this yesterday,
Yeah.
you brought that up,
Yeah.
that you took it as they're trying to one-up each other,
But it worked.
and it works. And then let's talk about,
Well, I think, and on that, so chemistry, I think, with somebody requires emotion.
right.
And
Anger.
disliking someone and being irritated by someone is an emotion.
Yeah.
It's a genuine thing. And I think Tommy Lee Jones genuinely was like, I do not like you, sir, at all. Like
That was like spite.
Oh, he did several times a day.
yes. But whatever comes across on screen is genuine chemistry, which Val Kilmer had with no one in this
Now, I
film.
also know, I think to your point about the script and everything, I do know that additional scenes were shot.
Yep.
And it was, the original cut was not quite 3 hours, but it was much longer. I do find it ironic.
Can you imagine
In,
a 3-hour
in
version
all
of
the
the
best
movie?
ways,
Can't wait.
that
How'd
Batman
they release
Forever is actually the shortest in length of time of any Batman movie other than the 60s.
And it does
It's like the
feel long.
You feel
there
every
were
minute
when I
of it.
paused it.
Is that
There were a
good
couple of
thing?
times when there were a couple of times when I paused it and I was like, how does this have an hour left?
There's a lot that happens.
But there's
Yeah, there is.
and I think some people try to
None of
piece
it
it
makes sense.
together.
They
I
have-
think-
there is-
because
there
I
is
think
a- there's
Kevin
a
Smith
Schuma-
was showing it.
Is there a Renegade cut?
There's a Schumacher cut of this film.
Oh my gosh.
They tried to do an airing or a showing in LA a couple months ago for the 30th anniversary of the
Yeah.
film, and Warner Brothers said you can't do that, and they did it anyways.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
thought- okay, I thought that was at Alamo.
So there's 40 extra minutes of this film. To your point of feeling longer, there's an
And yet I want to see that.
I want to see it, and I will regret it when I do.
There's an entire sequence at the end, which I think this is why they cut it, of when he gets shot in the head at the end,
Yeah.
and he wakes up. There is a whole sequence where he has amnesia,
Oh, I don't want that. Never mind.
and where he goes
I was wrong.
where he goes into the cave and he sees the giant bat flying at him again,
And it makes him
and then he
Batman
comes
again.
out. He's just like, I'm broke. So it was cut. One, it was cut for time because ain't nobody got time in 1995 for a 2-hour, 40-minute Batman film. I would argue that in 2016 we didn't have time for a 2-hour, 40-minute Batman film.
I don't know that I ever have, like, as far as just as intended cinematic experience, I don't think I ever have time for that. Now, if you put some meat on the bone, then I'll check it out. But that's not the meat I want.
Yeah,
because I want less of Bruce Wayne's BS backstory in this movie.
And that's all they cut out because
there's too much of it.
The whole beginning with Two-Face breaking out of.
Yeah, there's a sequence of Two-Face breaking out of Arkham at the beginning.
That I like. Cool. I'm sorry. Do you mean Harvey Two-Face?
Yeah, Harvey.
Because that's what
Harvey
they call
Two-Face.
him.
Oh my God, yes.
This is what I hate about like comic book films before the 2000s, and they still kind of do it today, but like these coked up movie executives were constantly trying to outthink the source material.
No one involved in this movie was using cocaine,
that's
sir.
a ridiculous allegation.
Crazy.
I would probably say more meth at rave, but that's entirely beside the point. But it's just this whole thing where they call, like, in the behind the scenes, which I have watched like extensively, because there was a great DVD set that came out in 2005 that had all the movies and then like hours and hours of supplementary footage. And even seeing like Tommy Lee Jones go, Harvey Two-Face, I'm like, that's not his freaking name, okay? His name is Two-Face. Why is that? We call him Batman. We don't call him Bruce Batman.
That would definitely give away his secret identity.
I think the only reason I can tolerate that, like, it doesn't fill me with more rage, is that it is in this, the only time it's said is by a news reporter.
Yeah.
Because she's talking about Harvey Two-Face robbed Gotham National, whatever. And then you never hear it again. But it is clearly intended to be. No, that's his name in this movie. That's what he goes by.
I love the fact that there are like full-on cinematography, like cameras and cameramen in the courtroom when they show the like how he becomes
the flashback.
and it's like edited and like looks excellent. There's close-up
What
shots.
is Batman doing?
Yeah, that's.
I know.
He just pops out from behind one of the pews or whatever they call benches in a courtroom.
It's like he would literally just be sitting there and just spring up at us.
Whoa, Batman was in here. Cool. Oh, Harvey, your face.
He does a lot of weird, like just coming out of nowhere and like running odd. There was one scene we watched like 15 times where he's like, I think it's in the bank heist, but he runs down this hallway and you see him. And
he looks like a child as he's running.
But yeah, so it's like a kid with a Batman costume. But yeah, he like starts running like this and he's like, whee! And like just like goes like
that. He takes the corner and he like puts his arms out like.
It's so odd. And I never noticed it before, and I watched it over and over again.
Well, and that's the thing. That's why it's so much fun to sit down and watch these things with a more critical eye or put a little more attention into it. Is because there are things that kind of just slide by you when you're watching something for entertainment that you pick up on like that. You're like, wait a minute, what was that?
Yeah.
And that's him just jumping out of nowhere in the courtroom was one of those things for me this time. I never thought anything of that before because we know how Harvey Dent became Two-Face, and they're showing the scene. You're like, okay, cool. There's the acid. There's the thing. But this time I was like, wait, why is Batman there?
Yes.
And was he just sitting in the audience watching this in his bat costume?
It is the opposite of what I was talking about with the Harvey Two-Face, because if you look at especially if you look at like the Neil Adams Two-Face story from the 70s, when they do the flashback, Batman's in the courtroom because that's what Batman was like at the time. But by 1995, fearsome creature of the night, he's not going to be sitting.
And that's in if it was in '66, Batman and Robin both would have been sitting in the front row of the courtroom.
They would have been prosecuting.
Yeah, you're right.
They've done it before. They prosecuted against the penguin in the two parts. So they'll do that. Well, but and I think he wouldn't have been sitting in the courtroom, Dave, because I don't think in that suit you can sit.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I love the main Bat costume in this film. Actually, both the Batman and the Robin costumes are like some of my favorite of the movie series in general. But those things just look uncomfortable to just stand in, much less sit in a courtroom for an extended period of time.
Do you even like seeing it from behind?
You get a lot of that.
Because we do get that shot for the first time ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
As you find out watching that Icons Unearthed, it's not even Val Kilmer in the bat suit most of the time because it was so uncomfortable to wear. They had to get a stuntman
to shoot most of the scenes in the
Was it the
Batsuit.
nipples
So-
that made it uncomfortable?
Which, by the way, I apologize for the anatomical inaccuracy of my own costume
Yeah.
here.
Where are your nipples,
I
Dave?
didn't even notice it until Ryan was like, "Where are your nipples?"
Yeah. Which it's not the first time I've asked.
And I made the poor choice of not wearing an undershirt, so let me just tell you, I know exactly where my nipples are right now, and it is not a good place.
I bet you can find some googly eyes to put on there.
That's a good idea.
You know, there are plenty around here somewhere.
Yeah.
I guarantee
That's the Schumacher cut I want to see, where all of the nipples and all the costumes are replaced by googly eyes.
So nobody here's ever seen the Schumacher cut.
No, I have not.
No,
I've
I don't think
I've
it's
seen the
good.
deleted scenes because they were on the DVD and the Blu-ray, but I've never seen it like coherently cut together.
Well, nobody has.
Yeah.
Coherently.
That's the word there. Yeah.
I'm so disappointed to find out it's more Bruce Wayne stuff, because that was the whole more of his back. I would rather have seen Two-Face and Riddler just cavorting around. I would like to see more of their crime spree.
Well,
Yeah, that was
there-
cool.
That stuff
I
was
like
so
that.
much
Yeah.
fun.
The
I
one
love
Riddler
that.
thing that was cut is that at one point he beats a guard to death on one of their heists, and
Oh, that's awesome.
they cut that because they're like, okay, that's a little too intense.
I wonder if they
Uh,
replaced it with the punching scene where he's getting
Well,
him
and
to teach him how to
I
punch.
love
That
that,
scene's great.
scene
Yeah.
where he's teaching him, all right, make a fist, draw back,
assert yourself.
assert yourself.
And the guys just stand there waiting
Like,
for it.
that's a fun scene, and I would have liked more of that. Now, it would have been too much to me to have Riddler just beating somebody
Yeah.
to death. That
Yeah.
that would have taken it beyond
Yeah.
the.
It would have been a
what we were
very
saying.
weird change in tone.
Yeah, right, right.
You know?
you could have Christian Bale for that.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, yeah, and you earlier in the panel you mentioned like, oh, you may have to break your vow against
Yeah.
killing people or whatever. But movie Batman
Doesn't
does
have
not have
Yeah,
that.
not at all.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Yeah.
All right.
He does kill a few people in this, though.
Yeah. Oh, all the movie Batmans,
Yeah.
they're murderers. It's fine. Michael Bailey,
Yes.
when you knew you were going to be on this panel, what was the first thing you wanted to talk about?
The first thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that as many problems as this film has, it's very high on my hierarchy of Batman films. And the main reason is that I'm also a Superman guy, and over the last year, I've just
Fortress of Baileytude, check it out.
I've come to the conclusion that there is no like one version of Superman. There's all these different versions of Superman, and that you pick your poison. And I feel very much the same way about Batman, who was my first love. There is a story in my family that my first 3 words were Mama, Dada, and then Batman. Nice. I was also apparently convinced that Robin's name was Moore. And the way it was explained to me is back when I was like a really little kid, you'd have like the ads for the Mego toys, and it would be like Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, and more.
And more.
So my like 3-year-old brain was, it's more.
That's great.
So
That's fantastic.
and over the last couple of years, I've just come to like this holistic approach to Batman just as a character. Like every version, except the one in the Flash movie from a couple years ago.
That's the best
Every
part.
version has some kind of merit to me.
Yeah.
And for this version, it's like I love Keaton as Batman because I was 13 years old in 1989. I think like genetically at that time it imprinted on you in a way that like my descendants are going to feel it. And I was really excited for this film in 1995. I was like me and my friends went and bought tickets days before just so it wouldn't be sold out, because that was definitely a thing that was going to happen with this film. And I watch it now, and there's so many things I love about it. And then there are other things where I'm like, God, this is just so damn silly. And that's not a bad thing, because I love the 60s series. But this is more third season 60s series, not first season 60s series.
Wow.
Which is a very different approach to even that same character. So, and I love the costumes. I do want to know which movie executive actually said out loud, I don't think Nicole Kidman's attractive enough to appear in this film, because you could have all the problems in the world with Chase Meridian. We could have 99 problems with Chase Meridian, but her looks ain't one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Chase Meridian, one of the best names in fiction.
but I was just...
It's a good name.
I was more like, this is going to sound silly. The thing that I was really excited about was that I was going to be on the panel with you guys.
Heck yeah.
Seriously, it was just like Dave and I haven't done a panel in years.
Yeah, it's
Nicole
been
and
a
I
long
and
time.
Ryan and I were on the Batman '89 panel a couple years ago. And Michael Gordon and I constantly do Batman panels at this convention. So
It's kind of our thing.
The real Batman Forever was the Friends.
And I feel the exact same way. I mean, if Dave asked me, I was like, I don't really want to watch Batman Forever. But I get to hang out with these guys. And I get to hang out with all you guys.
Yep.
And I get to do it in this room. And if there's any place that I'd like to talk about Batman Forever, like, it's this room.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is the venue. This is the venue.
it's a safe place.
This is a
Ryan,
safe room.
we're wrapping it up now. But what were you most excited to address when you knew we were doing
Aesthetically,
this?
this movie is my thing. I'm like all about Blade Runner and like cyberpunk kind of stuff. So like I love the Neon Gang. I love the Batmobile. I think it's my favorite Batmobile. And I remember popping for it when Drew Carey bought it on the Drew Carey show. And I was like, it's the Batmobile from Batman Forever. So stoked. So I aesthetically think this movie's great. A lot of the acting and the weird choices is just the most bizarre fever dream weird stuff. The plot with the blender, don't like that. It's not a great movie, but I have fun watching it. And aesthetically, I still love it to this day. I like the costumes, the logo. I get excited every time I see that question mark.
Yeah.
It looks like a tribal tattoo. It's wonderful.
I don't love this movie, but I kind of do love this movie because it's so bat duty
Guano.
bonkers insane, right? Like it's absolutely so over the top, and we've watched it together a couple times. Watched it with Dave before a couple times, and I love talking about how crazy bonkers this movie is with my friends.
It took some big swings.
Just last night we're at one of the dance parties, because this is what we do at Dragon Con. We stand in the middle of a dance party and talk about Batman. But me and another one of our friends like essentially did this panel and just stood there for an hour in the middle of the dance party shouting to each other about how crazy this movie is. And
Well, it's a very social movie.
yes, and that is, it's a wonderful experience. And I love movies, and I love bad movies very much. It is my favorite thing in the world, and this is one of them. It is such a fun bad movie to watch with friends. Like, if you want to have a movie night, get your movie friends together, get some drinks and some popcorn, and have the pause button ready, because you are going to be like, I'm sorry, wait, what? Push pause. We need to talk about that for a second. Over and over and over again. And yeah, and I love the visuals of it, the aesthetics. Like, the city, Gotham City, looks like a dream in this. And also, we didn't talk about the Statue of Liberty.
And we're not going to, because we got to wrap things up. Ryan Cadaver, where can we find you online, and what else are you doing this weekend?
So I will be doing the Big Damn Game Show Saturday night at 10 o'clock. So I'm excited about that with these fellas. And you can find me, Neon Warlords, on Instagram. If you like fun 80s action movie inspired music, that's what I do. And then the Cast Creatures, if you like spooky horror punk stuff. And Nicole?
You can find me on Instagram at Battle Cougar. Battle Cougar, like Battle Cat, but older. I will also be a part of the Big Damn Game Show. I will be several parts of the Big Damn Game Show, and I very much recommend that you come out and watch it. It's going to be super fun. That's it.
I'm Dave West. I operate Needless Things. I'll be here at 4 for a G.I. Joe panel. Come back for that one if you're into G.I. Joe, or if you're not, just come out and enjoy the air conditioning. And then, of course, Big Damn Game Show. Find me in the app, Dave West. I got a bunch more stuff going on this weekend.
Easiest way is to go to fortressofbaileytude.com, where you can find all of my podcasts. It all comes back to Superman. There's The Overlooked Dark Knight. I have old episodes of a show called Bailey's Batman Podcast, where I did a commentary for this film years and years and years ago. As for Dragon Con, I will be at the Big Damn Game Show in a support capacity. I think it's the best way to say that. But I have a bunch of other panels I'm on this weekend, a lot of them talking about Superman, shockingly. And one where I'm doing a Q&A with Greg Kyle after we watch the Planet Hulk animated film. So I'm excited about that one, too.
Awesome. I'm on, my name is Mike Gordon. I'm on a few panels this weekend, so you can see me in the app and find out about those. Most of them are in the comic track area, so which is in the America's Mart. I've also got a table in America's Mart, so I'm selling a lot of my books there.
742?
724.
724. I was close. I wanted to get it
Very
right.
close.
724. Yeah, and also you can find me on the Dragon Con Report as well as Bat Chums and another podcast I'm part of is our station who we talk all about this.
And the good news is, if you come by, pick up a Needless Things business card. I've just made this decision right now. Since we barely scratched the surface of Batman Forever, we will be doing a podcast episode following up on everything that we didn't discuss here.
Nice.
So there will be a part 2 of this panel you can find on Needless Things.
It really is forever.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Please remember to rate and review this section in the Dragon Con app. For more programming like this, subscribe to the Tracks YouTube page. Take any trash with you. And don't forget about donations. Come
Please
make
donate.
a donation, and you can get a pack of trading cards. And I've got some buttons left as well. So drop something in the bucket. Get yourself some
Take a
swag.
picture of us on
Batman? Batman, you say?
You have been listening to a Needless Things production. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for the very best in toys, movies, music, and pop culture. Until next time, be kind and like what you like.